Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. I go by Perry Flips on Perry Flips with a Z on Instagram, Pothead Picker on X, Flips and Giggles on Facebook, and Flips and Giggles is the eBay store. So podcast is available wherever you get your shows. So now available on YouTube as well, all episodes. And then any new episode going forward is going to be on there too. So if you like it, make sure you subscribe and make sure you hit the notifications. And then, tell your friends if they're like into reselling podcasts that aren't really like entirely reselling podcasts. So another week, I believe this is like episode 60 or 59, getting close. So, just another week. I thought today was going to be like the first weekend with some decent sales, but it ended up kind of being a bust. I had my kids with me. I made some poor decisions. And it's raining. It's like a shitty rainy weekend. So I didn't spend a ton of money, which was good. But I got a few things like some bread and butter. I got like a Texas Instruments calculator, a couple other things, but a lot of it just wasn't like valuable stuff. One of the sales I went to is like, they advertised collectibles and shit. And so of course there was a bunch of people there. So I got a few things there. That's where I got that calculator. But yeah, I missed the CDs. There was like a bunch of CDs and there was like a bunch of good rock, like metal CDs, and his prices were really cheap. So I missed those fucking going for the stupid ass t-shirts, which are all like modern t-shirts, nothing even good. So I really fucked up. But, it is what it is. And then, I got a couple other things, but it just was a lot of driving and just not enough really sales. The rain kind of obviously like put a damper on shit. And of course I was driving around in the morning. I'm like, it's not even fucking raining. It's like barely fucking drizzling, and then all of a sudden it was like fucking pouring. At the last sale I was at, I was outside talking to this guy I know, and it starts pouring. He's got an umbrella and I'm just standing out in the rain. I'm like, all right, can we finish this fucking conversation? He just kept talking. I'm like, dude, I gotta get out of this fucking rain, bro. So, yeah, it's a shittier day. I'm hoping it's like looks like it's trying to get nice out, but it's another week. I had a paper due yesterday, and man, I can't for the life of me. Like, I was trying to work on the paper. As soon as the assignment came out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking get the assignment up. I'm going to like figure out what I have to do and just start working on it so I'm not like having to do it at the last minute. And every time I would try to, I would just be like, this is not what I want to do right now. Or I would have like other homework and shit that I would have to do. So I'd do that shit first and just like, I don't have a ton of time to do school shit. And so I, like the night before, I was like, all right, let me just... So the night before it was due, so it was like due at like 11 p.m. on Friday. So the night before it was due, I just was like, I went through and it was easy enough because it was just a bunch of questions. Like the professor or whatever the fuck their name is, fucking Dumbledore. They give you like a she gave me like a list of of questions, like, that you have to kind of go through and answer. So I just basically like found the answer online and then just like, put it into my own words and just went through and did that for like the whole thing, essentially, just, and so like, we'll see how I do. The last paper I did, I got like 100 out of 100, I think, or like, I don't remember. Yeah, I think I got 100 out of 100 for this class, so we'll see. I was kind of worried about it, but like, I suck at math. I had to do like a placement test. I think I was supposed to do it a while ago, but I fucking dropped the ball. And so I was like hoping that it would be English first, but of course it started with math, and I suck at math. I like did some reviews, like I wrote down formulas, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be fucking ready to go. Like I'm gonna be able to do this. And the first question was like negative fractions, and my brain just froze. I was like, I don't even remember how to do this. And then I couldn't remember how to, like, I know that you're supposed to simplify fractions to make it easier. I couldn't remember how to do that. I was like, I don't remember how to do any of this shit. I just like, but then I finished it. Like I knew some of it. And then when I finished, I think I needed like a minimum of like 14 to not have to take it again. And I got 13. It's like, motherfucker. So that would have been nice if I had just gotten like 1 point more, because now I have to take it again. I'm pretty sure I have to talk to my academic advisor, but they make it like impossible. It's like, they're like, yeah, you gotta have to make an appointment. And, like I go and try to make an appointment in the thing, and there's no option to make a fucking appointment. And he's like, yeah, you got to click on the thing. And I did, and there's still no option. So now I have to like email him. It's just a pain in the ass, but it's whatever. I'll get it done. So yeah, I really suck at math. And then I had to do the English next, and I was like, I fucking killed it. Like I damn near got a perfect. I think I got like maybe 1 or 2 things incorrect. But yeah, that one I did much better on. And like, yeah, I was hoping that the other one would be a little bit easier, but it was pretty difficult. And a lot of it again was just like, I haven't done math in so long, and I already suck at it. So like trying to remember it and go back and try to do all that shit was like, well, fuck. My neighbor used to be a math teacher though, so he's like, oh, you want me to take it next time? I'm like, I might have to have him take it for me, or at least tutor me. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck. My wife said she can teach me how to do it too, but I don't know. I used to have to stay after school just to pass math class. It's like, and I played football, so I'd have to like, you know what I mean? I'd just stay after and like wait until football practice, and just, I wouldn't even like, I still wouldn't do good at it, but I would just get enough extra credit for like staying after that it would, you know, friggin' translate to the teacher giving me a better grade. You know what I mean? Plus I was respectful. That dude, my math teacher in high school, that dude was fucking, I think I've talked about him before, but yeah, he would stress the fuck out. He would become like beet red and just like get fucking pissed at everybody. But I was always respectful to him and shit, because I played football, so I had to like be on my P's and Q's. You know what I mean? I'm not like the disrespectful monster you have come to know from this podcast. So yeah. Anyway, it's yeah, I'm really hoping that next week's supposed to be the town-wide yard sale, so I don't know how that's gonna go. It's every year it's kind of a crapshoot, and I don't even know how many people have signed up. Like they're really bad. Like I kind of want to take it over. I'm gonna talk to because the lady who I think is doing it now is like this lady I see all the time at yard sales. So I think I'm gonna talk to her and be like, hey, do you want me to fucking do this? Because you guys suck at it. But there's got to be a way to position it so that I can like get some fucking merchandise out of it. You know what I mean? Some inventory. Like, oh, what type of stuff do you have? They're like, oh, I have video games. Like, hey, I'll purchase that stuff from you before the thing. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, no, that's I wouldn't do it because I would 100% be corrupt if I was put in that position of power. If I was like to take over the town-wide yard sale, I'd be like, all right, you've got video games? Okay, I'm not going to put that you have video games. I'm going to go there first. And then what about you? Yep, you've got Lego. Okay, I'm going to put that you have baby clothes. And just like completely fuck it up. So people are like, what? Just make it like, you know, send them all the way out to the middle of nowhere. Just post ones that aren't even there. Like, hey, they told me they were having them. That's what do you want me to do? So that's why I can't be in charge of that. So I'm not even gonna bother talking to that lady. Yeah, fucking rainy day. I'm hoping that, well, my youngest is sleeping. My oldest is like, it's the final 2 days. She's got tomorrow, and then she goes back to school Monday after her week of vacation. It flies by. We did some shit like Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we stayed home. And then Thursday I had a bunch of shit I had to do. Oh yeah, I was talking about how I was doing my paper and shit, and I just got completely sidetracked. But yeah, so anyway, I got it done and submitted like 2 hours before it needed to be submitted. Starting it the night before, so we'll see how that goes. I think I then went on to the placement test. Yeah, I don't know. I think I was done talking about that. But yeah, I finally sold that PlayStation 3. That one I got for free. It took a while. I was surprised. It ended up going down to like, I think I sold it for 180 or 190. I can't remember. I have to look again. But I had like people sending me. It was weird because offers just started coming in today. Like I kept dropping the price little by little. And so I had it down to like 200, and somebody offered me like 100. And so I had it at like 250. So like once I got the offer for 100, I just started dropping the price little by little. And so I got it down to like 170 or 180. I can't remember. Or 180 or 190, I think. Yeah, it's either 180 or 190. I have to double check. And somebody was messaging me like, hey, I sent you an offer. And somebody had already sent me the same offer, like of 100 the night before. So I was like, yeah, I have a higher offer than that. Like, what is it? And so I said like 65, which it was at the time. It was like, or I said 165 at the time. It was 164 or something. And so they're like, well, shipping is high. I was like, all right, well, don't make an offer. Like, there's another one from New York that's shipping's only $15. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I go by the dimensions. Like, this is how big the box is. Like, if you want proper padding, it's a little bit of a bigger box. And so while they were fucking dicking around, going back and forth, somebody scooped it up for full price. Somebody had sent me an offer, and I had dropped it down like another 10. And so they just ended up scooping it. So I'm pretty happy that happened. Yeah, somehow I I wouldn't say lucked into, but somehow I ended up getting a storage unit yesterday. And I only ended up spending like 75, which I'm so glad, because I had bid like I think 90 as my max bid. And so the unit like looked promising. There was like some fucking tools in there. There was a little bit of a couch, a small couch, but it looks cool enough that I think somebody will take it. So I might put it up on Facebook Marketplace for like $100 and say that somebody needs to restore it, because it's like a cool like vintage retro look. You know what I mean? It's got like wood trim, and like it's got like that like weird color, like that old color scheme. But it just needs to be like severely cleaned, and like, so I'll start at 100 and take offers and see what happens. But then, I mean, I'm not going to let it sit for that long. I can't be housing a fucking couch. But yeah, so nobody ended up bidding against me. I assumed at the end somebody would bid up, and then, because I wasn't going to get bid any more than that. I mean, there's stuff in it that's just kind of like has to be kind of cleaned. So I don't know how that's going to go. We'll see. There was like a TV. There was a bag of tools. There's a bag of tools that was... hold on. Somebody's coming to pick up a lunchbox for me. GI Joe lunchbox. I just gotta be making sure I'm gonna have to pause it and run out. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, so this storage unit. So yeah, I was hoping that like, somebody would bid me up, but so it was promising because there was like a big bag of tools that was like fucking heavy. And then there was like a TV with a TV stand, but the TV stand smells like dog. You know what I mean? Have you ever just smelled something that smells like an animal? And then a lot of the stuff smelled like cigarettes. Majority of it was like kitchen stuff. So that stuff I can either donate. Like I already posted it on one of the free groups, and I'm hoping somebody will just take it. I put like it's comes from a smoking home, hoping some fucking trash needs it. But somebody like posted, they're like, oh, somebody in the other group is looking for stuff. They have nothing. I'm like, okay, well, fucking tell them, like tag them. I'm not gonna go search this person out. I want it gone. It's free. If like nobody comes for it, I'm just gonna take it to Savers and get myself another coupon and go into Savers and get disappointed because I never find anything in Savers. I always end up going to, there's 2 different Savers near me. They're both about the same distance. The problem is one is better for shopping and the other one is better for donating stuff. So like I always end up going into the one that's better for donating stuff. And the other one, it's like, it's always just, there's always people in there fucking picking that thing clean. So it's kind of hard to find anything most of the time. But, it's whatever. And then what else was in there? There was like a box with some like prescription pill bottles. And I was like, oh man, sweet. This will probably be the best thing in here. It was mostly like ibuprofen and like there's a few like non-narcotic like pain relievers. And it was funny because there was one narcotic pain reliever and there was like one pill left. So you could tell this person might have had a little bit of a problem. It was another like sad. They're always fucking, not always sad, but like, yeah, this one was like sad. It didn't even look like it was going to be that bad of a unit. Everything looked like clean and shit, but it was just everything kind of smelled like smoke and it was just junk. There was a lot of like child support papers and like just like fucking bullshit. And yeah, just like, it's like, why would you keep half this shit here? So it's a lot of like yard sale stuff. There is stuff that I can put into the yard sale, but like I said, it'll be just like a bunch of boxes of household shit. That stuff I can easily bring to Savers if nobody comes and get it. But I have a feeling somebody will come and get it. Like when it's nice out, people don't want to go pick shit up when it's raining and shit. I just posted it today. I'm assuming somebody will pick. I haven't even checked. Somebody might have said they wanted to come get it. And then I'm trying to think what else. There was like a big ass AC unit, which I'm going to take that to the scrap yard. I was planning on already doing that, along with some other metal pieces that I have that I'm just like, whatever. Don't know what else to do with it, so I'll just take that there. I don't even give a fuck if they give me money for it. I just hope they take it from me. But I looked online and it said that they take all the shit that I have, so we'll see. I just don't know how much money they give me. So yeah, this storage unit was, the person who helped me was very interesting. I would say they were not very helpful. Yeah, they were. I'm pretty sure they were trans, but like they never said their pronouns. But the name tag said Valerie, but nothing else said Valerie. Well, they had their nails painted, but nothing else said Valerie. It was like there was like almost a full beard. I was just like, oh, okay. So I wasn't sure what was going on. The hair was fucked up. I always make fun of people's hair. I had an old roommate that like I never did before, but like she would make fun of people's hair. So now just every time that's the first thing I think when I see people's hair, and especially if it's like fucked up. Like this was fucked up hair. It was like going bald in the middle and gray, so it almost looked like when a girl has her legs spread open. It was really bad. They were chill. They just weren't helpful at all. Like, they were supposed to give me like a code. I had to like, they just walked away. I was like, oh, can I get the code? They're like, oh yeah. It's very like spacey and just like, and we were like alone in a narrow hallway, which I wasn't like intimidated or scared or anything like that. But I'm just like, it was just weird that they would just be like, all right, they just turned around and walked away. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't say anything, like didn't say bye. Wasn't like, okay, here you go. Let me know when you're done. Like, nothing. And then I went and said, hey, I'm all done. And they looked at me like I was fucking crazy. I was like, okay. There was no like deposit or anything, so I think that's why. But I was just trying to be polite, whatever. And then, but yeah, it was just the whole situation was confusing. I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. So that was my little encounter at the storage unit facility. My wife was with me. We had the kids, and so they like wanted to come and see. Of course, it wasn't like a super cool one. I really didn't want to win it. Like, not that I didn't want to win it. I was like, oh, maybe I'll win it. But then like, I ended up winning. I was like, surely somebody's gonna bid on it, and then nobody bid because you could see the bag of tools right there. So I was hoping somebody would be like, all right, fuck it, I'll do it, and I would be out of it. But whatever, I should be able to get rid of all that shit pretty quickly. And there was like a bag. There was no clothes. That was fucking weird too. Usually there's clothes. There was like a box with weird old baby clothes that smell hella like cigarettes, and then like a bag of like sheets and comforters, and then that was it. No other clothes. So the unit, yeah, it did kind of suck. That's the honestly with storage units, it's like you kind of scratch the itch. Some of them are better than others. The last one I had was good. This one not so much. But it is what it is. It's like, it's so close to yard sale season. It's so close. And my wife's off. I had to bring the kids today, so they're like, they don't hate it. It's, they're fine chilling. And like most of the time that's a sale that's like right there. If it's something where I have to like go out of sight of the car, I always have to take them in, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But I got lucky today. They were all like right there. And then, yeah, what was here? Let me go. Oh, I'm going to have to take a break in a minute. What time is it? All right, they should be here soonish. It's been like 8 minutes. Just keeping an eye on my Facebook Marketplace thing. I went to a storage unit auction where it was like in person last week. So it was on Saturday. I can't remember if I talked about going there, but it was kind of, I was hoping it was going to be good. There was like a bunch of units. And when I got there, they were like, oh yeah, there's only 3 units now. All the other people paid. So it went from like being like 15 units down to like 3. And then there was like a trailer. I don't know what was in the trailer or what. And but the guy was just like very, like, he wasn't an auctioneer. It was just, he owned the property. Like, it was his storage unit. And so he owned it. So it was probably only like 8 to 10 people there, all old guys. There was one other younger guy who looked like a friggin' death metal bassist. Like, and so he bought like the first unit. It was a big ass unit, but it was like, it had a bunch of these just big ass pieces of wood and like old stereo equipment, and everything was dusty as fuck. Like, it had been there a while. So there could have been anything in there. And he got it for $100. I was like, oh, like, we might actually get a unit today. And then the next unit, like, there was a bunch of like old shit. There was like these ducks that this lady, there was like she was almost like an accountant or something. I don't know what or a secretary maybe for this guy. She was like an old lady who had a clipboard. And she was like, yeah, those ducks are worth a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. So these guys like went back and forth. I think it went for like $600 something. Um, so I don't know what they saw in there, like that they thought they could make some money on, but and then the last unit was just like a bunch of bullshit furniture. So it was just a complete waste of time. I did find a sale on the way out there, and there wasn't really any other sales that day. Um, but yeah, it was just like my I said it earlier, but my instincts have been like just off with like I've just keep guessing wrong. And I don't know if it's I'm guessing wrong or if like just the sales are just not that great this year yet. Um, but yeah, I went to one like a couple days ago. What day was it? Friday. Yeah, Friday. So I went, or yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday. So I went early and waited, and then I got there like an hour early or whatever because they had like in the pictures like a bunch of like stereos and shit, and then they had like it said like records and like so I was like, oh, maybe they'll have band T-shirts or like vintage clothes. Like no, I think they had gone through everything because when I asked her if they had T-shirts, she kind of looked like funny, like she's like, oh, we used to, you know what I mean? So I'm not really sure what her deal was. It was not like I got like a hat, I got a skateboard, but like yeah, there was definitely other sales that I could have gone to, but like I don't know. I mean, my instincts told me to go to that one, and it just didn't pan out. And it's just I don't know. That's just kind of the nature of the game. There's a couple like free piles I went to recently that just weren't worth it. I did catch a good free pile this last week. When it's nice out, you got to check the free pages like relentlessly. I got to this one like I probably missed by 5 minutes getting a bunch more stuff, but I got there and this lady had just finished like putting shit in her truck. She was going back for like the last 2 boxes of like it was like Funko Pops. There's some decent ones. I know they don't really like people don't really like selling them, but they were the bigger Pokemon ones, so I think I should be okay with those. And they were free. And then there was some like anime shit and like a PlayStation 4 collector's edition box. Like it was missing like the game and one of the inserts, but somebody will still need it to finish something. And yeah, so that was like but I got there and this lady just beat me. And it was crazy cuz she like she saw it, like she commented on it the same time I did, and like I got in the car and started driving, so she must have just lived a lot closer. It was like on the other side of town. I'm like, fuck man, I wish that she took as long as my wife to get ready. You know what I mean? Usually when there's a free page, like, cause that was a smaller free page, usually I see it and I'm like, I have plenty of time. Hold on, I gotta go outside here. Yeah, my neighbors definitely think I sell drugs. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I love selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Some things I won't sell. Like if it's something I think is gonna like be an issue for me, and like if they're fucking weird or some shit, but I haven't had an issue so far. If I do, I'll fucking kill somebody. No, I'm just fucking around. So yeah, just I don't know. I don't know if it's just my instincts have been off or what, but yeah, just so far. I mean, I was doing all right. I got some stuff that like I wasn't spending a ton of money, which was the thing. It's just you want to be making money and not spending money, but in this business you got to spend money. I just haven't really been able to find a like solid avenue of finding shit. I used to put in ads in the paper and put ads in like Nextdoor app. I need to start doing that and just put posts like, hey, looking to buy the X, Y, and Z. If you have it, let me know. Cause like, yeah, this not having inventory. I like literally have gone through most of my stuff. I found some more. I forgot. I went to this sale a while back that I found a bunch of. It was like a going out of the business video game store sale. I might have just told this story recently, but they were going out of business, and I was like I don't remember which number I was, but I wish I had been higher up on the list. I didn't see the ad until like a couple weeks earlier, and somehow it was like number 12 or something like that. But it was an old video game store, and they had like a ton of games. All that shit went. early. I got there like to get whatever was left, and like the store looked like it had been looted. Like there was just fucking shit all over the floor. Like I was climbing over boxes, but I ended up getting like, you know, a bunch of PlayStation 4s and fucking that were like for repairs. And I found like in the back of like a bag full of Game Boy Advances, like just a bag of, they were all like for parts, but there was just like still just like a bag full of them. And that's easier to sell because then you're not gonna have any issues, and they just sort of like people buy them for parts usually quicker than the other one. And then I like found tucked away just a box full of old video game manuals. So like I went through and took all the valuable ones, and then I just lotted out the rest. But I forgot about them, and I finally just went through them. I was like, oh shit, I completely forgot I had these. Not that I forgot, but I was keeping them because I'm like, oh, what if I find these games? And it was just like, it was games that didn't really matter. It was like, all right, this game's not even that valuable. Like, even if I do find the game, like, who really gives a shit? So it just didn't make sense. I just like put it up, and then I had a bunch of posters too, so I just put those up for sale too, and those sold already. So yeah, it's been so far a decent weekend selling. Hopefully it can keep up. But yeah, this fucking rain is just killing. There's a bunch of sales tomorrow though, which is nice. So I'm hoping to hit some sales tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's, you know, it's still early on in the season. We're booking our summer trip. We're booking it like later in the summer too, so it's going to be right in the middle of yard sale season. So I'm pretty pumped about that. We're planning on going for like a full week, so I'll be up there. I won't have to dick around with like finding yard sales on the way up there. So hopefully we're going to book that today and get that locked down. So got our taxes back. That's when we book all our fucking bullshit. We did just pay a big chunk off of our fucking stupid ass credit card. That shit's getting lower and lower, so I can't wait. Hopefully another couple months, just pay it off altogether, and then never do that again. You live and you learn. That's the second time I've done that, and like, you know, you think I would have learned the first time, but I was young the first time, so I didn't even like think anything of it. I just, you know, I didn't have kids either, so it was like, I didn't have kids when I did this, you know. It was like a couple years ago. So anyway, now that let me see, I trying to think. Sorry, that guy threw me off. Yeah, he was just like, I was like, yeah, if you want to take a look at it. He's like, I had this when I was a kid, so I'm good. I'm like, sounds like you're gonna fuck it, bro. Weird motherfucker. Yeah, so Easter weekend just ended up. So there weren't a ton of sales on Easter either, obviously, you know. R.I.P. Pope, whatever his name was. But yeah, it was there wasn't too many sales, but we went to like a Easter egg hunt, and then we had my family comes over with their kids, and we do an Easter egg hunt every year. So that's always a good time. And the one that we went to was cool. It was just like, they had like donuts and shit. It was like spring, and they were trying to sell like donuts and shit. And I'm like, wait, this isn't a springtime activity. But they had lime rickeys. And if you've never had lime rickey, it's just like a New England thing. But it's like raspberry puree or some shit with like Sprite essentially. And then like, yeah, they usually put like a lime and shit in it. And it's just, yeah, it's like horrible for you. But every once in a while, I'm like, I'll see a lime rickey, and I'm like, yeah, let me get one of those. And they're big on like Cape Cod. And they're really like, they're good they're not too sweet. Like they are sweet. My wife thinks they're sweet, but like they're not like crazy sweet. But I don't know. I fuck with the lime rickey. Every once in a while. So they had those. I was gonna wait in line for that, and then I was like, it's fucking 1:00 in the afternoon. I was like, if I drink a lime rickey, I'll be falling asleep on the ride home. Like, there's no way I'm having a lime rickey right now. So we did that. Oh, and then there was like an Easter bunny taking pictures and shit. And me and my wife both said, I was like, dude, that's a black teenager. Like you could just tell by the way his body language was, and just you could tell he was just like, fuck these little white kids. Like he just did. Like we looked at the picture afterwards, and after we looked at the picture, just the way he was standing, like his body, the way his body frame was, like he was just like a tall. You could tell he was a tall, skinny, like black dude, and definitely young, and just like did not want to be there. You could just tell all of this through the bunny suit, like just the way he was fucking standing. I looked at my wife. I was like, "That's a black kid." She's like, "Yeah, for sure." Oh shit! It was so funny. But yeah, so I'm going back to the storage unit. Sorry, I went from Black Bunny to storage unit. There was I just don't understand why people keep some of this shit. And that wasn't what I was going to talk about anyway. That was just kind of like my segue. Anyway, I of course I would win a storage unit the day I have a paper due that I didn't work on at all. So like I got up on Saturday or got up on Friday morning, went to a sale, came home, worked on my paper, won the auction, brought all the shit back, left it on the trailer, came in, worked on my paper, did dinner, like made dinner for everybody, put the kids to bed, came downstairs, finished my paper, submitted it, went upstairs, finished up like putting the kids to bed, went downstairs, went out, emptied the trailer, and then that was my whole day Friday. Oh yeah, I went to the post office too. Did a few listings. Yeah, it was just when people like get a fucking job to resellers, it's like it's a full-time fucking, especially if some shit happens. Well, honestly, the school shit doesn't really have anything to do with reselling, kind of, but not really. That was more just like a, take advantage of an opportunity type thing. But yeah. I'm excited for this town-wide yard sale because there's already a couple of sales popping up around the neighborhood. But they always do a really bad job of advertising it. Like all the people in this area don't know how to advertise shit, which is good for me. But the best, like people still find out about it somehow. You know what I mean? And then they start coming in later But yeah, I remember last year it was just like you just drive around aimlessly, not aimlessly, but you drive around to different spots, and I just kept coming up empty-handed. And I don't know if it was because I went the wrong place first, but I was just hoping this year is just full of like finding good shit. I started messaging fucking people when they post their sales because I feel like other people are messaging people now. So I just always send like a hey, is there any opportunity to buy anything prior to the sale? Just to see too. That way I know, like, if they don't answer me, then I'm like, all right, well, hopefully I'm not the only one they didn't answer. You know what I mean? And they're not answering because they already answered somebody else. But like, yeah, I mean, you almost kind of have to. Because whenever I post mine, people hit me up. You know what I mean? So it's like the people are obviously reaching out to whenever somebody puts up a sale. You know what I mean? So you don't hate the player, hate the game. That's just kind of what you got to do. Which it's annoying. Like I hate having to do it. I just like want to go show up to the sale, because then I have to like reach out and be like, hey, I need to just make a copy paste thing. That's what maybe I'll do today. Sorry, I was just yawning. I had something I wanted to talk about and I forget. Let me see. Oh shit, did I not have it written down? What was it that I just wanted to... Oh yes. No, I just didn't have it all the way up. Oh, good. I have a couple more things to talk about. I'll save my. That was a weird noise. I'll save my yard sale pet peeve. I have a new yard sale sign pet peeve that I'll save till the end. Um, I went to a sale last week, so in the pictures, and I know so this was another one of those instincts. It was wrong stories. Like I knew that it was gonna. I had a feeling it was gonna be out of my price range, and that it would be a waste of time. And it ended up being a waste of time. So I got there and I pulled up. There was like like one or two cars parked on the street, but literally there was nobody sitting in them. Like I didn't see a single person sitting in a car. And I always check because I'm like, are there people waiting? So I was like, nobody's here. I'm gonna go and wait and be first. So as soon as I walked up, this lady comes out of the house, and I was like, oh yeah, I was interested in like you had some pictures of the Rolexes. So they had like three Rolexes. One of them was like a $20,000 Rolex. One was like a $5,000, and then the other one was like a $2,000 watch. So I'm like, well, maybe they'll be like a few $100s, you know, maybe we'll see. And and so I'm like, this is like, I talked to my wife. I was like, oh, if we have to pay up a little bit, we should fucking. It was like one of those things that like where I was like, all right, maybe it might be in the price range. So I get there and I'm waiting. This old guy shows up. He walks up next to me. I'm talking to him for a little bit. And then this other chick comes up, and she's like standing there or whatever. And so the old guy eventually is like, oh, asked me, he's like, you're first, right? You were here first. And I was like, yeah, I was here first. And the lady was like, she's like, no, I was here first. It's like, and it was like, I honestly don't care because it's like, whatever, we're all going to like go in or whatever. But it was just kind of like a weird, I was like, oh, I didn't see anybody. She's like, oh, I was in my car. I was like, I didn't see anybody in a car, but she was like, oh, it's fine. And she was like getting like annoyed and kind of shitty with me. She was wearing like a hijab or some shit. I didn't want to mention that because I didn't want it to seem like I was being like bigoted or whatever. It was annoying that she was just like sitting in the car. Like, even if you were sitting in your car and you'd like, you gotta like at least get out. But I don't think she was. Like, I didn't see anybody. Like, the guy came and pulled up and then got out of his car. You know what I mean? Then like I talked to him and like she still hadn't gotten out. It was like a while before she came up. So it's like, why were you waiting so long to get out of the car? And then like to even bring it up, like, no, I was here first. It's like, well, you were sitting in your car. Like, nobody knows you were here. I've talked to two people now from the sale. And it was just like weird. It's like, what do you want to go in before me? Like, go go ahead. Like, and then she let me go in ahead of her, and I felt like a dick because I was just like, I don't care. It was just very weird that she like said like, oh, I was here first. I was like, oh, I didn't see anybody. And she's like, no, I was in my car. And it's just like, all right, I wasn't like, it's like what my wife does. It's like, I wasn't trying to argue with you, but you just are like, I don't know. Maybe it's my voice. Maybe my voice just sounds argumentative. I don't know. So anyway, I go and I'd already asked the guy about it and he doesn't tell me a price. So I'm like, all right. So I go in and like, there's like high end sneakers, like designer sneakers and shit. And, I go and like, he's got some of them like marked like, pretty high, $100 here, $100 there. So I'm like, all right. So I grabbed a pair of like Nikes and then I grabbed a pair of like Louis Vuitton sneakers with the box and shit, being like, oh, let's see what this is. And I go over and he's like 300 for the Louis Vuittons and like, which I looked them up too. Like I was looking these stuff up and he wanted like 100 for the Nikes and 300 for the Louis Vuittons. And I looked both up and they both were like almost exactly what they were going for on eBay. And he had like an eBay authentication tag on one of them. So I was like, did he buy this on eBay and he's trying to resell it? Like, what the fuck? And, but I don't know. All the cars were like super expensive. Like, I was way out of my depth. And like, so then I went into the room. He was like, oh, I got the Rolexes. And he had like a room filled with people. As soon as I saw there was a room full of people, I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to get these Rolexes. And he comes out, and the one that was like a $20,000 watch, and the neighbor had come over too. That was the other thing. The neighbor came over, and he was like, I mean, it was a rich ass fucking neighborhood, and so he came over, and he was like, he was looking at the watches and shit, and the guy was like, this one, the Daytona or whatever, I want 15,000 for. And the other dude from across the street was like, do you have like papers or anything? He's like, no, that's without it. He's like, yeah, that's the without it price. And so like he just kind of like, everybody was putting stuff back. Like when I went to go put back the Louis Vuittons, there was another pair of Louis Vuittons that I hadn't seen, that were gone. That weren't there before, and somebody I think had put them back. So I don't even think I ended up buying anything. But that just reminded me real quick. I just went to a sale. What day was it? That was a sale I went to yesterday. The sale yesterday with like the speakers and shit. A neighbor had gone over to that sale, and the lady told him like, oh, you can take, he was going to grab this weed whacker or something. And the lady was like, yeah, just take it for free, whatever, you're the neighbor. So the guy goes to the other guy who's in the garage, because it was two people running the sale after the lady told him it was free. And he goes to the guy in the garage and he goes, hey, she told me I could take this for free, but I wanted to give, pay for it. He's like, I'm the neighbor from next door. He's like, oh, okay. He's like, so how much? And he's like, $20. And the guy goes, would you do 10? And he goes, oh, we'll do 15. He's like, so he starts breaking this fucking guy's balls. I would have been like, dude, fuck you. She told me it was free. And now you're trying to fucking haggle me over it? Like, fuck you. I'll take it for free then. And I would have walked out. I'm like, the bitch told me I could take it for free. Oh, dude, that would have made me so mad. If the lady told me I could take it for free and then I went to go pay you and you started fucking trying to get as much money out of me for an old fucking weed whacker. Like, some of these people who run these sales are absolutely retarded. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's so funny. It's like, dude, that was so crazy to me. It's like, yeah, this is free. The lady said it's free. I'm trying to do the right thing, and you're gonna fucking dick me. And then at one point he was like, would you do 18 or something like that? I forget what it was. It was like he was just trying to get him to go higher and higher or something like that. So, and they're always like, oh yeah, I'm trying to sell this for like a family member or something. It's like, dude, fuck off. Yeah. So the other day when I was standing in the we have like a little kitchen area that's right by the stairs to go up to the third floor where we do bedtime and shit for the kids. And I'm standing there, like, we had some pretzels, so I was just like sitting there munching on pretzels. And the Browns took Shadir Sanders. He finally got picked up. Man, he was going undrafted for a while. Now we're gonna have to hear all about that chip on his shoulder and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm standing there. I'm eating fucking pretzels, and my oldest daughter, just walks. Like, I'm not hiding. I was just standing there. And she just walks by me, like, not looking down, nothing, just walks by me. And then my wife and my youngest daughter, and these people always, like, anytime I'm eating anywhere, they're like right at my side, like, "Who can I have some?" And so I'm just sitting there, like, still crunching away, like, loudly, and they just walk right by me. And I'm like, did they like plan this? They go upstairs. They're looking for me upstairs because they thought I was playing hide and seek. And I just stood at the bottom of the stairs. I was like, am I ghost? Like, did they really just did not see me? So like I had to walk upstairs and be like, hey, like, can you see me? And they're like, where were you? Like, you guys walked right fucking by me. I was just standing there. Nobody saw me. I'm like, am I a fucking mirage? But yeah, and that was just kind of silly. Unrelated to reselling, there was like a story nearby of a woman who fell into a chasm in front of her family, which is very sad. You know what I mean? She, like, her family, like, her kids saw it happen, which is fucked up. But she looks exactly like someone who would fall into a chasm. You know what I mean? Like, my wife's very clumsy. I could see this happening to her. When they showed the picture of the lady, they're like, yeah, this lady fell into the chasm on a hiking trail. I'm like, yeah, that kind of tracks. If you held up a handful of pictures and they're like, which one of these people fell into a chasm, it would be that one. It was like just she looked like she had no business being near a chasm. And maybe she was a professional hiker. I don't know. Just from the picture. I'm just comparing it to like my wife. Again, it's very horrible. It's fucked up. The kids had to see it. But yeah, just that's what I got from that. It's like you look like you have absolutely no business being anywhere near a chasm. Okay, so I'll get to my new yard sale sign pet peeve. I've talked about this before ad nauseum about how I think that leaving yard sale signs up should be punishable by death, torture, cuckolding, whatever punishment you see fit, because it's just a despicable crime. But now there's a new one that I don't really like. It's not as bad as, so like I'd say that like if leaving your signs up is a felony, then this would be a misdemeanor. And it's putting your sign up early. I can't stand. So these people did it up the street. I didn't even bother going to their sale. I know a guy who went, and he said it wasn't great. And he was like, and they weren't selling half the shit there. So it was like one of those annoying, like, is this for sale? No. Is this for sale? No. Is this for sale? And they put up like 2 signs a week ago. I drove by the house because I thought it was like on a Saturday. They like have randomly had them up on a Saturday. So I drove by the house. I'm like, what the fuck? So I drive back. I'm like, oh, it's like another week until this sale is happening. So a few more days go by and the signs are gone now at this point. And I'm pretty sure they like blew away or somebody took them or because they were gone. So it's like, it's not like, again, it's not like it shouldn't be punishable by stoning, but like there's got to be some type of slap on the wrist that you can get for putting up your sign too early. Because you got to assume if you're putting them up early, you're going to leave them up, It's just kind of that kind of behavior if you just don't have any regard for the yard sale sign of law of sign. I don't know. Rule of law sign law. So, yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't piss me off nearly as much. It's just kind of irritating, especially because I drove down there and was like, but it was just, yeah. I don't understand the need to put it up a week early. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to be like, oh, look, there's a fucking sign for a yard sale. People only look for yard sale signs the day of the yard sale. Like, I mean, they do look for them, but typically everything's online, like all the advertising. And if you're not putting them online, like, typically your sale is going to be banging. No, I'm just kidding. It's been a long time since I've found an unadvertised sale, but they're always the best. When you just show up, there's nobody there, and they're like, "Oh, we're just getting ready to shut down." I found an Xbox like that one time. It was like a Gears of War edition Xbox, like in a big box of video games. And I was on my way home for the day, and I just was taking a back road. And I think I also got like a bunch of wrestling figures. Like, it was a bunch of shit. I almost went back and bought more shit. But like, yeah, it was crazy. They had like I think I got like paid $40 for all the video games, and like it was just, and I think I set the price. So she was like, how much do you want to pay for it? And I was like, oh, $40. I probably could have said 20. I'm going to start like telling people I'm cheap. They're like, no, I'm cheap. I've seen some YouTubers do that. They're like, I'm cheap. You don't want me telling you the price. So I might just start saying that. I'm cheap. I'm at a yard sale. It needs to be cheap. I'm not here paying fucking eBay prices just because you watched fucking a couple of videos online. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, is that pet peeve one that we want to start to do a whole thing about? Probably not. But I mean, I think that behavior probably leads to other shit. Perhaps. All right, I've got about 5 more minutes, and I don't know. I kind of ran out of topics. I thought it would take a lot longer to talk about the Black Easter Bunny. No, I'm trying to book. I gotta book a Mother's Day thing today. My wife got the day off, which is kind of nice. Her schedules have been nicer lately because like people have started to leave. For a while, it sucked because she was like the lowest, but now she's been there for a while. So now her schedules are a lot better. We just were able to book like our camping trip, and we're booking our trip up to Maine. So I'm very excited about that stuff because normally we're like trying to figure out our fucking lives at the last minute. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to finish this up. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend. Available everywhere you get your podcasts, on YouTube. And then, check out my eBay page. If you see something you're interested in, shoot me a message. And I take offers on everything. Sometimes I just put a price, and then I start to lower it and lower it and lower it. I like to do reverse auctions. Because anytime somebody offers you, like when those people offered me 100, I was like, all right, I can get 100, more than 100. You just start dropping the price. You're like, all right, just got to put some pressure on these people. Because they see the price start to go down. They're like, oh, fuck, somebody else is going to scoop it up. And then they buy it for more than they wanted to. Like that person wanted to spend 165. They ended up spending like 180, 190, you know? So anyway, that's going to be the podcast for today. Roughly related to reselling. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye.